Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and today we're looking at Threezero Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Dragon Shield Black Ranger, and it's been probably a long time since I've had something like this to review. Last thing being Ranger Slayer, and I think the only thing that I haven't got is Armored Red Ranger. Now with Zero Rangers coming later in the year, and this actually being released, and the party coming up at some point, I was generally quite excited to actually grab one of these. My last experience with Threezero wasn't a good experience in terms of I had a snapped hand. So I'm hoping this time round is a lot better. Well, I'm a lot better off. And then there you've got the sort of the 3D logo going on there. And then if you open this up, it's got some Velcro on it. He says with one hand. There we go. And then inside there you can see the Black Ranger in his plastic cage. So let's get him out and have a closer look. Okay, here is Armored Black Ranger out of his plastic cage, and I've got to say, once again, I feel like I could easily fall back in love with Threezero because, and bear in mind, I've not changed anything yet, but just looking at this, I always loved those the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger figures. They were absolutely gorgeous. I think Threezero did a fabulous job on them. I mean, let's just look at the helmet. Okay, there is lots of extra lines, which I think is not normal, but I don't mind. I feel like they define areas a little bit better than perhaps what we've seen. Let's just go on the top as well. But that is one fantastic helmet. Then you've got the beautiful gold shield. Now, we would have seen the exact same shield with Green Ranger, and that, once again, that was probably my it's usually everybody's favorite because the shield makes it stand out. So it's nice to get Zach with a shield, even if only in the show he did wear it for 30 seconds. I'm not going to pretend to think you can take this off. I suspect you can. I didn't try it with the Green Ranger. I'm certainly not going to try it with the Black Ranger. Just move the arms down. And then you've got the beautiful, if I can get that to zoom in and focus. Come on, camera. Focus. Focus. Damn it, you're not going to do it. But there is a nice morpher that sits nicely on the belt. And I feel like maybe that's a little bit too high. Just sits above the buttocks. And then you've got these beautiful, so you have the hard pieces for the hand and for the glove piece here, and you know, once again, it's sort of like a matte paint on there. It feels like you got this nice little piece here, and then the feet as well, and they are painted on the bun. They have Hasbro 2023 and Threezero on the other side. I probably should have shown it like that. It probably would have been a bit better. So, and then you've got this fabric all the way through. Now, my biggest issue, and it was mentioned, I mentioned it in many videos before it actually happened, was around the hands, and my worry that they would eventually snap on the pegs that are in situ. That was always my biggest thing, and you know, with Ranger Slayer it actually happened. At this point I'd already reviewed about 6-7 figures already. The other piece to remember is be careful with some of the what's the word, sharp tools. So for example, I had with Saba, very sharp little samurai sword. Is it a samurai sword? I'm going to say a samurai sword. And I damaged that White Ranger, put it that way. Not very well done. You got the Blade Blaster as well. So the biggest thing now to be careful with is the hands if you're changing things, and the fabric. I've always been careful when doing any sort of movements, because I feel if all it would take, because it's such a perhaps a tight-fitted, well-made fabric, you could easily damage it. So just be careful with that when you are trying to do any poses. I know people are a little bit more riskier than others. You are going to be restricted by this hand, by this armor, in terms of the arm going up. There feels like a single in there, and there is movement on there as well. So once again, I can already see that I'm moving the fabric in ways that it doesn't like to be moved. Then you can move the hand around slightly, but obviously there are specific hands for you to get the to hold the axe, etc., which we will look at in a minute, which is probably one of the best features of this whole figure. So you do have some sort of movement around here. And then the legs, once again, I wouldn't put pressure on that piece because you can see all it would take is a little bit to put some pressure on that as well. You can't go back very far because of the buttocks. He's got a swivel there. He does have a double knee joint. This bit feels quite easy to do. You can easily do that bit quite nicely on the leg. Did I even show that? I'm sorry if I didn't. There is movement on the shin. You've got a little left and right and a little up and down there. Just remember, these bits can come off quite easily, just like the hands. So very, very nicely done. You can move that around as well if you like. There we go. So there is Zach. Let's bring in... Come on, you gonna stand for me? Come on, dude. You can do this. Let's bring in the beautiful... And I'm really sorry, because I really should have had it ready and prepped to show you. But this is a gorgeous piece. Just look at that. I love that there's sort of like bow damage on there as well. You got a nice Mastodon piece there. And you can carefully move that down like that to make that gun and that all-important power blaster. If you collected all the other figures, you could do that. So you can have him holding the gun and you can have him holding the axe like so. So off screen, I am going to put some hands on very carefully and we can have a look at how that looks. Okay, so I've managed to put in a couple of hands without incident, which is the biggest thing for me, the biggest compliment that makes me happy. I've managed to put on this hand, which the finger pointer looks a little bit strange, like he's like, hey, come on, it's not really strict, etc. And then you've got this nice sort of axe, and he can hold it quite nicely, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I mean, let's be honest, this is probably exactly the same mold as the Black Ranger we got, was it the year before last? So it just slots in very, very nicely. It looks absolutely gorgeous. So he's just got a golden shield, it's nice and easy. So let's have a look at him holding the gun in the gun mode. Okay, before I finish up with Zach holding the axe in blast mode, here is the power blaster gun, and it's very, very nice and easy to change. The colors are beautiful, and I think they do a fabulous job with this. I'm just going to put up the sword thing. With this piece, be very careful. It's a very thin piece, and you just need to flick it up. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I will do that off screen just to avoid damaging it. Okay, here is the blade blaster with the blade out of its hidden compartment. So once again, I just recommend just being a little bit cautious with that as you take it out. But I feel like they do a fabulous job with this particular weapon. They always have done. And then let's just finish up with Zach holding his axe, and that looks very, very nice. It's nice detail on there, and he holds it very... I'm not too convinced that he holds it perfectly. I've used the hands that he comes with, and it just sort of slots there. It doesn't feel like it's firm, and same with this. It is literally just resting on this piece, so it's not perfect by far, but it does work in my mind. I'm sure there are better ways to get the hands to hold this weapon perhaps, but for now this will have to do. So anyway, hope you like my video. If you do, please support my channel by subscribing. I'm looking forward to doing Threezero reviews later in the year. Thank you to those already subscribed to my channel. Make sure you look after yourself, very important these days. And as always, embrace the geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.